All right, here's our cool, super cool op art. These are what I call our disco balls. So we are going to take our two-dimensional paper, our flat paper, and we are going to use those tricks that artists use to create an illusion that there are actually three-dimensional spheres popping off of our paper. It's super cool. All right, you guys are going to be using our circle stencils, or if you are at home, you are finding something round and you are tracing those circles. So you have, let's do maybe 3. Our example was a good one. All right, so I pulled out some things, some random things here to show my home students that we can use anything. So grab a cup, anything round. That one's a little wonky, but that's okay. Now let's do these spheres first to get these out of the way. So you might want to practice these on the back, possibly. It's not hard. It just takes a little bit of paying attention to what you're doing to get it to look like it's popping off the page. And it really, really makes a difference once you color it. So we are going to start with a vertical line somewhat in the center. And I'm going to draw a little bit darker than you, just so you can see it. You guys are drawing super light with your pencil, okay? In case you want to erase, of course. But I will draw dark so we can see it on the video. All right, now here's the trick. We want to get 2 lines to fit above this center and 2 lines below. And what I'm going to do is follow this original arc of my circle to help that illusion. So I'm going to jump a little bit above my center point, and I'm going to curve my line and bring it back to that circle's edge. Now I'm going to fit one more above that. So I'm going to jump a little space following the original curve of my circle and come to that outer edge of my circle. I'm going to do that below as well. So jump a space, start on the edge of your circle, curve it, end up at the other edge of your circle, and try and fit another one. Now we get to do that vertically, okay? So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to fit 2 curved lines on this side and 2 curved lines on this side, but they're going to follow the curve of our original circle. So I'm jumping a space from my midpoint, and I'm going to curve, and bring it back to my original circle. Same thing, jump a space, curve, and end up on my original circle. Can you kind of see it coming out? Super cool. All right, let's do it again. From the midpoint, jump a space, curve to the other edge. And let's do it again. Wiggle one more in here. So jump a space, curve to the edge of my original circle. It worked! All right, so you can kind of see that roundness happening, okay? Because we have distorted those lines, we have distorted them to make them look like they're curving or wrapping around a circle. It has tricked our eyes So once we start to color it, it's going to really pop out. Super cool. Okay, so here are our steps. You need to complete that, we'll call it a grid, on your however many circles you drew to create those illusion spheres. Then what we need to do is, hopefully you have a ruler at home, because our ruler is going to help us. If it's a standard ruler, it's going to be this width, okay, and that's helpful. So I'm going to line my ruler up on the edge of my paper at the top, hold it tight, spread my fingers, hold it tight, and give myself a line. Now I'm going to use the width of the ruler this way to, excuse me, give myself that guide of where my next line is going to be. So I'm going to hold it tight. Now you guys remember my bump and jump? I'm going to bump into my sphere, bam, jump over it, draw my line, bam, jump over it, hold my ruler tight so it does not shift, and finish off my line, okay? Again, 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 again. So we've got to fill our background, the whole paper, minus our circles, with a grid. So that means we're making these horizontal lines. Then we get to make vertical lines. So let me just show you guys. Now I want you to use the width of this ruler, this width, because if we get too skinny, it's just going to take so long to color in, and it's just honestly too tedious, okay? So let's stick with these larger grid lines and it will be a little bit better. So now we're vertical. I'm going to line it up against the edge of my paper here, and then just continue to use the width of my ruler. So I'm putting it against that line I just drew, hold it tight, bump into my circle, jump over it, and keep going. Okay, so day one, we are going to hopefully get all of our pencil lines complete. If you finish that day one, stop. So that's what we need to, that's our expectation for day one, okay? Day two, we will start to color. And there is a trick for coloring, so don't go ahead. We've got to color so that our illusion pops out most successfully. Okay. All right. So I didn't finish these two just for the sake of time. So you guys, all of your circles are complete like this one. Okay. So I would definitely remember to practice on the back a few times. And some mistakes, let me show you this. A couple of things that I did see happening when you guys are drawing your circles. If your curve isn't very curvy, if your lines are more straight than curved, you're not going to get that illusion. Okay, this is a super almost grid, vertical, horizontal. So you're not going to get that illusion like those lines are wrapping around, okay? So if your lines are like super curvy and they stop before the edge of the circle, if they stop, that's not going to happen either, okay? So our goal is to get our lines curve like that original circle curves. And remember, we're jumping up from that center line, curving it back to that original circle. Jump up a little bit, curve it to the original circle. And again. So we're working in top, bottom, and then side, side. We want 2 above, 2 below. And if it's helpful, if you want to give yourself a little bit of a guide like this, a little dot on that line, so then you've got a little point to, oh, I missed it. I wanted to curve a little bit more, but you guys can kind of see, I got close, so you can give yourself that guide if you want to, okay? All right, I can't wait. These always turn out so super, super cool. So day 1, finish your background grid, vertical and horizontal, using the width of your ruler. And if you have however many circles you've drawn, complete those grid lines that curve to give that illusion they're wrapping. All right, super duper duper. I'll see you guys later.